Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. As promised, we're going to take a look at Greymane today because he was affected by the most recent patch. Now, Greymane is one of the most well-rounded characters in the game. There's never a team comp that you can look at and say, you know what, for a damage dealer, wave clear, and mercenary grabber, I don't think we want Greymane. There's no situation where that comes into play. He has all the poke in the world to play safe and whittle down an enemy team, but then switch that on a dime, jump into Worgen form, go for the throat, and burn someone down in nearly an instant. So there was really no drawbacks to him. What Blizzard did was incorporated one of his level 4 talents. He used to have a cocktail build here. Another issue with Greymane is his build was exactly the same all the time. Everyone played the exact same build. There was really not much build variety at all. But you still have cocktail talents at 1 and 7. The Incendiary Elixir is the stacking quest talent that he was kind of famous for. Greymane's playstyle was really fixated around that. They did remove this one, but just incorporate it into the build. I don't know if it was exactly 15% for, but the explosion radius of your Gilnean cocktails now 15%, which opens you up to pick new talents at level 4. Which, if you can get Unsatiable, you can drop Perfect Aim and maybe go for another talent here as well. Wizened Duelist was reworked. For every 6 human basic attacks against heroes, increase the basic attack damage by 1% up to 30%. And Worgen attacks basically stack it up faster. So, it kind of seems like they're pushing players into a more Worgen-driven playstyle, which was what he was like when he was released. And where Greymane syndrome came from, where your whole team knows this is a bad idea and you should be walking away, but your Greymane, he goes in because he has Worgen from him. So let's try it out today. We'll see how we like it and hopefully not die too much. I'm gonna die a lot. I'm gonna die a lot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the Garden Terror map today. The friendly team Greymane, Maiev, Silenced Azebo, Jim Raynor, and Rhaegar. The enemy team on Azul Tracer, Tezdingo, and Amazing Daniel. I love that skin, man. That Rhaegar skin is so good. It's so good. Greymane's one of those characters that I've really wanted to devote a lot of time to, because like I said, there's never a bad time to pick Greymane, right? But I just never have. It's just kind of been like, yeah, I could play him. But that seems too safe, right? That seems like it's the right thing to do. I want to live on the edge just a little bit. So Viciousness increases inner beast duration by 4 seconds, and ability damage also refreshes its duration. Might be good for us. We could try it. Like I said, this is kind of uncharted territory for me. Good cocktail damage in there. Going to go ahead and boost my auto attack damage really quick as well. Take down that Tracer. Do we continue this fight? Well, I'm Greymane, so I'm going to continue this fight. All right, not bad. Not a bad start. Not a bad start. We'll go ahead and clear the wave with our allies, with our buddies, and then I'll go back to the solo lane. Now, when Greymane was introduced to the game, the concept of an assassin not having sustain was a very new thing. Prior to that, I mean, pretty much every auto attacker had a way of healing themselves. And Lunara, I guess, was kind of in the same boat. They were added around the same time. They were both shown off at BlizzCon. Was it 2015 or 2016? I don't really recall. But, you know, that kind of dropped back. A lot of characters are like that now. We have Maiev being added into the game now. Very much down that same road where her sustain is kind of based on her team helping her out and going in. Greymane is notoriously good at getting camps at any stage of the game, and now with the changes that you could just totally dodge any damage that these guys are dealing, makes them even better at it. Which is nice. You know, no complaints there. I did miss out on 1 lane of XP against Zul, which is probably not worth. But, I mean, I feel like I did that appropriately. I pushed him into the tower, then went back. We're going to take a little bit of damage, but we'll just jump up in Worgen form and auto-attack all this down. The friendly team slightly ahead on XP right now. Let's just do some splash damage there. Try to just disengage a little bit, auto attack. I don't know, maybe I just try to punish him for his quote mistake. I don't know, can I bait this more? There's a regen globe. Oh no, can't bait it more. Ah! Ah, I fucked up! Ah! Greymane syndrome, boys. It's happening. It gets to the best of us. So, Insatiable, theoretically, could alleviate the issues that we have with not picking up perfect aim. And it's kind of based more on our W ability rather than our Q ability. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. Just test all this out. Like I said, I don't play Greymane often. I really should. I really should. We have our camp pushing. It's doing well. Zul backed right after that engagement. So, I think I'm going to start this camp really quickly. It's almost night phase anyway, so I can help my team get seeds down here. If Zul does keep pushing, that is a problem, and I do need to respond to that since it's my lane, I guess, but I can still grab this incredibly quickly at this stage of the game. Get it pushing, and then go back. But it looks like he is not continuing to push, so I'll focus on this. Looks like they might be getting pushed back a little bit in the bottom lane. Zul rotating to middle, so that is going to be a 3v2 there. And a 2v1 in the bottom? Is that correct? No, 2v2 in the bottom. All right, so I grabbed some skulls, grabbed some seeds. Let's grab this regen globe and rotate back down. We might be able to come up behind Tracer here and deal some pretty big damage to her. In fact, I'll ping that I'm going in right now. So we want to dive in, auto attack, and then Q. That's our kind of burst damage combo right now. You go in Worgen form, auto attack, Q. At least I think. I don't know, it sounds right to me. Sounds right to me, boys. See, look at that damage. That's just good. Once we get level 10, we're basically going to be able to kill Tracer in one auto attack combo. Nice use of Mayev's trait there to completely nullify the heroic ability of Tracer, the pulse bomb. Nicely done, nicely done. I am going to go for Wizened Duelist just to try it out. I mean, I don't know how good it is. I also don't know what killed him. I initially went in to dive in with my E, and it just didn't work. So for Wizened Duelist, excuse me, what we have to do is just auto attack people. And eventually we get a pretty substantial damage increase if we can land some auto attacks. We get 3 stacks for every wolf auto attack, and two stacks, 3 stacks. How does this work? I think it's 3. I probably should go back and read it. But basically, we're incentivized to be in wolf form more. And before this talent, when you died, it was all oh shit. Okay, we dived away relatively well there. It was all reset when you died, so the fact that you actually only lose half of your stacks right now is a pretty big incentive to pick up the talent on its own. Let's go in here, take down that Zul Jin. I really would like to start working on this. I don't have a disengage here because I was mounting up, I believe. When you go to mount up, you get out of Worgen form. I think that's what happened there, so I found myself a bit out of position. What I've been doing to try to survive Zul... Nice! What I've been doing to try to survive Zul attacking me is... And again, I don't know if this is the best advice for Greymane. This is something I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, boys. Trying to figure it out. Is when he comes in, I'm usually in Worgen form, because that's what we're trying to do. Usually in Worgen form, I immediately Q back. I might even get the range increase on this a little bit later, but I use my Q to get a little bit of range back, and then I vault forward. Alternatively, there's a talent that allows you to simply disengage further with your E ability. By the way, if you've never seen Greymane, I'm so sorry, I totally skipped over that. He has 2 forms. One's a Worgen form, and his Q ability acts as a cleave. In human form, he throws a cocktail with his Q ability, and that acts as a cleave, but they work in different ways. His W ability, no matter which form you're in, is an attack speed increase. And your E ability, if you're in human form like I am right now, turns you into a Worgen to jump in and engage really hard on enemies. And if you're in Worgen form, it allows you to roll away to safety. Rhaegar is going to come in and help us take that. It seems like no team is really interested in grabbing the objective at the current time. Maybe I'll just go do that. Here, I'll ping that I'm on my way to go do that. Maybe we get a gank in on Zul in the top lane first, actually. Because he might be overextending just a little bit. I'm just gonna start it. Fuck it. You do get some armor when you're in Worgen form. I would tell you how much, but I honestly don't remember. And they just changed the way that you identify stats. So in this current patch, which is a great change, by the way, great change. you can left click on something to see its stats. So I can tell you exactly how much armor I have, exactly how much my auto attacks are doing, but that requires you to left click. And many of you know that the way I play heroes is I have left click set to auto attack. So I just need to rebind something there relatively quickly. He didn't go for me with that sleep dart. We were able to do a lot of damage there. All right, rotating down. I want to take down this tracer. Very nice use of that. Oh, nice! Yo, I got this. I got this. I'm going. We did pick up Go for the Throat at level 10. This is a heroic ability that allows you to dive in and deal a lot of damage very quickly. Very, very quickly. And we can reset the cooldown of that ability and use it again one time if we are able to actually execute the target with the damage alone for Go for the Throat. Now, in most cases, I don't think I'm really going to be able to pull that off. But if we are able to pull it off, we potentially could do massive burst damage to a couple people on the enemy team before it incurs a cooldown. We are going to go. See, this is where we could get more range on our Q, so we could lunge a little bit further to potentially disengage further, or running wild, which kind of does the same fucking thing, right? Allows us to either jump in with our E or jump away with our E at a further range. Which, I mean, to me, why wouldn't you just get that? Why would the swipe range be better? I don't quite get it. Looks like Nazebo did go back to gather the first Garden Terror of the game. We might have another one. We were kind of really far ahead on that. I would like to come in for a gank on Azmodan here. We're in a pretty good position to body block him on the way out. Let's just go ahead and jump in and try to deal as much damage as possible. I don't want to use any swipes here because I'm actually building more damage just sitting there auto-attacking. Which is weird. Which is strange. We are going to disengage here. Throw a cocktail through the building to poke at Tracer just a little bit as well. And trying to continue to auto-attack just to keep our attack speed buff going, but I wasn't quite able to do so. We do have our heroic ability though, so we could do a lot of damage to Tracer here. She's likely going to just blink away the moment. Yep. The moment I try to go in. We could just poke at her a little bit. I thought that damage would stick a little bit more, but I suppose Ana is immediately behind her. Garden Terror is still pushing the top lane to great avail. Oh, I fucked up. Thank you for the lust. Ah, I even tried. I could have E'd out of that. I tried to Q out of that. I should have been faster. My bad. I'll go ahead and take credit for that one, boys. I'll go ahead and take credit for that one. Sorry, team. The Garden Terror going completely uncontested. It was actually Jim Raynor who jumped in. He was able, with Nazebo, to take the middle fort and get all of the top fort as well. So we're 2 levels ahead now. The enemy team doesn't have an objective. Now this is where I'm like, well, do I get more attack speed? Because we have these early on talents that allow us to kind of build up our attack speed more, right? The enemy team doesn't really have a front line, so we're not going to be able to get free stacks from just meleeing a tank. So I think instead I'm going to go for Alpha Killer. Basic attacks against heroes deal 3% of the hero's maximum health. While they don't have a tank, this will help us burst down Azmodan just a little bit faster as well. And, you know, bonus damage is just good in general, right? I think the odds of me actually being able to keep that attack speed buff up for long are not super high. So who do we see up top? We see Azmodan. Damn it, I was going to steal that camp. Maybe I can kill the person who got it before they're able to rotate back up. I might be able to catch him here. It's not... Oh! I hope she comes back. Because I'm so ready for that. Night phase has happened once more on the Garden Terror map, so let's move in here. Now, I do feel like I could be using my cocktail much more than I have been. I'm just trying to utilize the Worgen form a little bit more since we have that auto attack incentive, right? They got her. Yeah, she dead. I'm gonna steal her camp. While they're busy. Because we can take them so fast, I feel like it's my civic duty to just steal these camps whenever possible. Don't have my attack speed buff just yet, but Rhaegar did decide to stay and help me clear it down. Thank you, bud. Oh, I should have killed that camp. Fuck. Azmodan's actually buffing it. All right, I'll jump in here for the team and tank this. Once we get this top garden terror, I will rotate back down and clean up that camp. That was definitely a mistake on my part. You know, I've never understood people who say I don't own up to my own mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Every time I die and overextend. I see that on Reddit a lot. I feel like people have this assumption of me that's maybe 2 or 3 years old. But, like, I died there in the bottom lane. That was my fault. I admitted to it. I didn't clear up that camp before I left. My fault. Admitted to it. I don't understand. I don't get people. Whatever, though. We chillin' team. Also, the people who think that I'm here to show you top-level gameplay. I play quick match for a living! What are you talking about? Alright, got that off my chest. That's been building up a few days. I googled my... Oh, what happened? I googled myself to see if I could find a headshot of me that Blizzard took, because I needed it for something. And I didn't have it because I formatted my PC. And I just saw a bunch of posts about me. I was like, what the fuck? What do I do? Why are we... What's going on here? I'm just gonna go for the throat, swipe in, finish that guy off. I'm not sure why we're fighting with the Garden Terror, but we certainly are. We don't want to line up for the... Yeah, there we go, Tranquilizer Dart. I was trying to get out of the way of that. It looks like I was, you know, relatively successful. Let's clear this wave super quick. Yo, push with that. You shouldn't be gathering this shit. Whatever, we got it. He plays Gym Raider. He probably doesn't know better. Probably doesn't know better. That's okay. No big deal. So 2 members of the enemy team are dead right now. They should still be able to defend against that terror, no problem. I don't see them having too many issues pushing that back. But we did get a whole nother Garden Terror in the pipeline, ready to go. If Zul continues to chase from this direction, which he didn't, I was thinking I might be able to deal a little bit of damage. I'm gonna grab these last few seeds that were left behind and probably go group up with my team. It's probably the best thing to do. I was thinking about pushing bottom lane just to get to level 20, and that is still appealing. I kind of do want to do that still. I'm in a bad spot here. Let's just back up a little bit till the Garden Terror can push forward. We are missing Rhaegar, but he's on the way up right now. Rhaegar went for Bloodlust this game. That's always exciting. I didn't mention that, but ooh, that dunk just hit all of us. That's unfortunate. Yeah, honestly, I think we just back up here. No reason to force this at all. Maybe steal their camp. Get that attack speed going. Now, the attack speed talent would have helped me clear this a little bit more. Well, I pinged for assistance when I left that, but I was the only one who thought taking that camp was a good idea, so I can't really say that it was my team's fault. You know, I did it on my own. They didn't come with me. But, worth. Now I get to type worth. And it's true. He's totally a bait the whole time. I can grab this one up. I do kind of want to take more camps. It's so easy to take camps. As a result of dying and honestly just kind of not team fighting much, I haven't stacked up my thing. Looks like the game's over. So, initial impressions of Worgen Greymane after the patch. Pretty fun. Pretty fucking fun. I probably would have gone for the auto attack cleave in Worgen form in this particular build. I don't know if this is the viable way to play him now. I just kind of wanted to try it out. I'm kind of approaching my time in Heroes with that mentality more. I don't really give a shit about the meta team. More of pursuing my own interests at this point. Forgot to show the talents over on the score screen, but what I went for today was Viciousness. When we use spells, it increases the duration of our inner beast. Insatiable, Wizened Duelist, go for the throat. Then what did I go for? Running Wild into Alpha Killer, and I would have gone for Tooth and Claw here at level 20, I think. Basic attacks in Worgen form, cleave for 100% damage. Now that again does stack up pretty nicely with the, where was that talent? Level 13? No, level 16. That attack speed increase could be pretty good. If you're cleaving the entire enemy team for that much damage, it could be pretty strong. But you could also be cleaving the entire enemy team for 3% of their auto attack damage every time you do it, which seems good too. Like I said, just trying it out. I don't really know. Didn't do any math. But that was Greymane. Thank you all for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell if you have not already to be notified of everything that we do here. I guess I just have to say this now. I hate that I have to say it. We'll be back soon, tomorrow maybe, with a look at the new Malthael, since he was changed in this patch as well. Thank you once again for your guys' support, and I will see you all next time.